compromise national interest in a case that would determine India's prestige and have massive international ramifications. For the last few weeks, Republic TV reported about how the UPA may have compromised national security by hiring some unknown Pakistani lawyer to fight India's case. That is jeopardizing India's national interest. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the entire secret Enron papers are out. Republic TV's legal editor Ridham Anand Bhardwaj has exclusively accessed all the critical documents from 2004 that prove this speculation. For the first time on paper tonight, how the Congress government in part 1 brought in this Pakistani lawyer and paid him massive amounts of money only to pay in turn hundreds of millions of dollars in settlement. Here is part 1 of the Enron scandal expose.
May 16, 2017, one of India's most distinguished lawyers and former Solicitor General Harish Salve tore apart Pakistan's Kawar Qureshi at the International Court of Justice while fighting for Kulbhushan Jadhav. The man who Salve defeated with his strong legal counters in The Hague this time had years ago replaced him to represent India in an extremely sensitive case involving controversial American energy firm Enron. A firm that fled India after cheating Maharashtra's most impoverished farmers in the early 2000s. Over a decade ago, when that firm dragged India to an international arbitration and claimed millions, the UPA government chose Pakistani lawyer Kawar Qureshi to fight our case. For the first time, papers proving the same have been accessed by Republic TV.
In a massive expose, Republic TV accesses the secret office memorandum of 1st October 2004, which clearly shows Kawar Qureshi replaced Harish Salve as the counsel for the government of India. In this office memorandum, it clearly shows that massive amounts of money was paid to Kawar Qureshi at a time when Harish Salve was ready at a nominal cost to fight for India.
This October 2004 memorandum details the amount paid to the new team. The little-known Pakistani lawyer Kawar Qureshi was paid £200 per hour by the Indian government. Why was Harish Salve replaced is a question that UPA is yet to answer, and a question that even Harish Salve has not found answers to.
Government of India was absolutely clear, and there was no action in our view against Government of India which had any merit. And, I thought we had a pretty good defense, but then I'm again talking of 2002, 3, 4, so memory fades. But I thought we had a pretty good case. And then there was a change of lawyers, and then I have absolutely no idea. I didn't keep track of what happened.
When Kawar Qureshi and his team replaced Harish Salve in 2004 in the Enron case, surprisingly, at the 11th hour, they asked for Harish Salve's work in progress, that is his personal notes. Surprised at this, Harish Salve and his team had refused to give their personal notes because they are responsible for them. Even more shocking is the fact that Harish Salve had agreed to fight for India at a nominal cost, but Kawar Qureshi charged massive amounts of money to India.
But those who were involved with the case, like the firm Fox Mandal, unknowingly may have just revealed the reason to us.
I've also spoken to the Attorney General's office of that time. Mr. Milan Banerjee was there. He's no longer there. Mr. Gaurav Banerjee also, I tried to get in a word with him. Do you think it was at someone's behest that he was brought in?
I would not be able to tell you, but as far as I know, Howard's background is he's from Cambridge, and Mr. Milan Banerjee is from Cambridge, so is Gaurav Banerjee. So if they knew him, I have no clue.
Some unknown Pakistani lawyer to fight India's case. That is jeopardizing India's national interest. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the entire secret Enron papers are out. Republic TV's legal editor Ridham Anand Bhardwaj has exclusively accessed all the critical documents from 2004 that prove this speculation. For the first time on paper tonight, how the Congress government in part 1 brought in this Pakistani lawyer and paid him massive amounts of money only to pay in turn hundreds of millions of dollars in settlement. Here is part 1 of the Enron scandal expose.
May 16, 2017, one of India's most distinguished lawyers and former Solicitor General, Harish Salve, tore apart Pakistan's Kawar Qureshi at the International Court of Justice while fighting for Kulbhushan Jadhav. The man who Salve defeated with his strong legal counters in The Hague this time had years ago replaced him to represent India in an extremely sensitive case involving controversial American energy firm Enron. A firm that fled India after cheating Maharashtra's most impoverished farmers in the early 2000s. Over a decade ago, when that firm dragged India to an international arbitration and claimed millions, the UPA government chose Pakistani lawyer Kawar Qureshi to fight our case. For the first time, papers proving the same have been accessed by Republic TV.
In a massive expose, Republic TV accesses the secret office memorandum of 1st October 2004, which clearly shows Kawar Qureshi replaced Harish Salve as the counsel for the government of India. In this office memorandum, it clearly shows that massive amounts of money was paid to Kawar Qureshi at a time when Harish Salve was ready at a nominal cost to fight for India.
This October 2004 memorandum details the amount paid to the new team. The little-known Pakistani lawyer Kawar Qureshi was paid £200 per hour by the Indian government. Why was Harish Salve replaced is a question that UPA is yet to answer, and a question that even Harish Salve has not found answers to.
Government of India was absolutely clear, and there was no action, in our view, against Government of India which had any merit. And, I thought we had a pretty good defense, but then I'm again talking of 2002, 3, 4, so memory fades. But I thought we had a pretty good case. And then there was a change of lawyers, and then I have absolutely no idea. I didn't keep track of what happened.
When Kawar Qureshi and his team replaced Harish Salve in 2004 in the Enron case, surprisingly, at the 11th hour, they asked for Harish Salve's work in progress, that is his personal notes. Surprised at this, Harish Salve and his team had refused to give their personal notes because they are responsible for them. Even more shocking is the fact that Harish Salve had agreed to fight for India at a nominal cost, but Kawar Qureshi charged massive amounts of money to India.
But those who were involved with the case, like the firm Fox Mandal, unknowingly may have just revealed the reason to us.
I've also spoken to the Attorney General's office of that time. Mr. Milan Banerjee was there. He's no longer there. Mr. Gaurav Banerjee also, I tried to get in a word with him. Do you think it was at someone's behest that he was brought in?
I would not be able to tell you, but as far as I know, Howard's background is he's from Cambridge, and Mr. Milan Banerjee is from Cambridge, so is Gaurav Banerjee. So if they knew him, I have no clue.
It's a known fact that India, which had a pretty solid case before Salve was replaced, chose to settle and in the process lost millions of dollars. So consider this. The then government hired a Pakistani lawyer to whom massive payments were made, and that same lawyer led India into losing prestige and hundreds of millions while settling the case with Enron. And farmers who were cheated by this company are still fighting to be fully compensated.
सब जगह पे हमने मोर्चा निकाला था, कोई इसमें ध्यान दिया नहीं। अभी हमको आत्महत्या करने का एक ही पर्याय है, तो हमको करना पड़ेगा ऐसा लग रहा है। तब सरकार का ध्यान जाएगा हमारे ऊपर, तब जाएगा नहीं।
मेरा बच्ची 10th क्लास का एग्जाम दिया है, 90% उसको मिला, लेकिन उसके एडमिशन के लिए मेरे को बहुत तकलीफ करना पड़ रहा है, क्योंकि अगर डोनेशन भरना है तो मेरे पास बैलेंस कुछ नहीं है।
From Mumbai to Dabhol to London to Delhi, we bring to our viewers the entire Enron paper trail. How India lost a case that we could have won. The entire paper trail with Republic. I'm Ridhumanan Bhardwaj in Delhi for Republic.
Geeta Luthra, senior advocate in the Supreme Court. Amit Khemka is a lawyer joining us from Delhi. Sunit Chopra, leader of the CPIM. Suman C. Raman, political commentator. M.R. Venkatesh, policy analyst and political commentator. And GVL Narasimha Rao of the BJP. This is a very serious matter And before I kick off this debate as part one of the Republic TV mega exclusive, I want to share this with you, with viewers. Viewers, the Dabhol project was one which promised to give the basic essential of power supply to Indians. So I just want to explain the level to which national interest was compromised. The Dabhol project, as we all know, was looked upon as the first big foreign direct investment that India had attracted. With papers in my hand and no speculation, ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you that what we have put out today in part one of this expose is just part one. The dirt and the muck and the slime that the Enron papers will kick up, the biggest storm that the UPA will have to fight. I'm going to put out more papers tomorrow. But ladies and gentlemen, today my focus is simple. Of all the brilliant lawyers in this country, why was a team of Indian lawyers replaced with one with Pakistani origin, an unknown lawyer, right Rhythm, you want to kick this off, an unknown lawyer with an unknown background, with no proven competence, who has been proven to be a mix between a joker and a clown during the ICJ hearing, and that man was single-handedly chosen by the Manmohan Singh government to defend India's interests. Isn't that the crux of the matter? And viewers, I have the paper, the office memorandum of 1st October 2004 with me. You can hold it up as well, which proves Kanwar Qureshi's appointment by Sonia Gandhi's government. His name is out here. K.M. Qureshi. Yes, Rhythm, let's kick this off. Let's kick this off, because if India's interest has been knowingly compromised, we all need to know about it. Yeah.
Arnab, not only national security, but two quick points here. Massive amounts of money were at that point of time given to Kanwar Qureshi. It's not only about 200 pounds an hour, but in this paper that we have, it also says that his hotel accommodation would be taken care of, the economy class air travel would be taken care of, 1,000 pounds an hour could be given to a team of 5. So other than this, there were several other expenditure that was being done, by and for KM Qureshi. Like you did point out, it clearly says you will be replacing Messrs DLA, that is the firm that had got Hari Salve in the picture. In the above case, Shri Milan Banerjee, Attorney General, is the lead counsel, Shri KM Qureshi is the junior counsel, and Fox Munda will be the Indian solicitors of the Government of India for the above arbitration. The other point that's very clearly to be mentioned here, Arnab, is Hari Salve himself saying that Kanwar Qureshi, when he came on the picture, his team asked for his papers, his private notes in the case, because they had roughly 4 to 5 months to prepare their case. He was on the picture in 1st October 2004. 5 months later, India goes in for that settlement and India loses the case. They have to settle the matter. The picture is out there very clearly to see what was happening in these 6 months. That first, Hari Salve, the former Solicitor General's papers were asked for, his personal notes were asked for by Kanwar Qureshi and his team. And two, how in these 6 months, what really happened that a watertight case was lost by India?
So my question is, why was the Manmohan Singh government so eager to somehow desperately lose the case? They were very keen to lose the case. They were desperate to lose the case. They really wanted to lose the case. They were afraid. The Manmohan Singh government was afraid. And Geeta Luthra is smiling. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. The Manmohan Singh government was dead afraid that India might win the case. And if we would win the case, if Soli Sorabji and Harish Salve were on the case, two men who may not have been in greatest agreement personally with each other, but who were the two most professional men. And let me tell you this, Enron had a very good friend in George W. Bush. And a lot of these things were happening around the time that Manmohan Singh was also keen to push on the nuclear deal. Hence, I am asking you, why did the government of India hope and work in a way that the government of India and the people of India would lose the case? M.R. Venkatesh, I want to start with you. What do you think is the story here? And who needs to explain?
First of all, I'm sure that the Prime Minister, then Prime Minister Manmohan Singh has to explain why he replaced somebody like Harish Salve with, as you very rightly said, quasi-joker, quasi-buffoon. Now the moot point is, Arnab, I suspect something very sinister. You contrive to lose a case because there will be outgo of money from the exchequer. And obviously, outgo of money from the exchequer will enable you to get kickbacks. As simple as that. If you want to get kickbacks, you want to get party to this whole damn loot, you have to pay money. If you win the case, you will at best get accolades, nothing more. But if you lose the case, you get money. What do you want?
And I also want to share here.
What do you want?
I
Let
also
us be
want to
very
share
clear. What do
here,
you want?
Geeta Luthra, I want to share here that this new team that came in was asked to get all the papers out from Harish Salve. So all the work done by Harish Salve was supposed to be got to enable them to lose the case better. And I know of many countries that have many priorities. I know of no country in the world where one team of lawyers almost gets you to the brink of winning against Enron. And the first thing you do when you come to power is appoint a fresh team of lawyers who work very hard to lose the case. By losing the case, I mean go in for a settlement. I don't know the amount, but I'm going to reveal this tomorrow. Tomorrow, by the way, viewers, I will reveal how much money we've coughed up. And let me tell you, India paid out a lot of money in 2004 to lose the case. Geeta Luthra, before I go into specifics on this whole case, you can have a technical argument on this saying every government can change any team of lawyers. But does this make any sense to you? This appointment of a Pakistani lawyer replacing Harish Salve and
yeah. So I think, to be the devil's advocate, Mr. Qureshi is in fact perhaps a QC and a Barrett law and perhaps practicing in the UK, if I'm not mistaken. Now, much
is not more qualified than Harish Salve.
I believe myself that Harish Salve, no, 1 minute. I'm not talking of qualifications. In this profession, qualifications are not necessarily the important aspect. What's important is your ability as a lawyer. You may not be as qualified, you may be less qualified. In Mr. Salve's case, Mr. Salve is one of our finest lawyers. I think
why was
he's
he
one of
sacked
the world's finest
from
lawyers.
this case?
But having said that, no, it's not called sacking. Firstly,
removal.
You are not sacked. You are just, another team comes in.
Why?
Now,
Why? No, why?
Why?
The question is why.
When a political dispensation changes, when a political dispensation changes,
No.
it
You can
is
change your
very
attorney
often
general, not
perceived
this type of people.
Because, so 1 minute. Yes, you do change, and that's why, for example, in a country, an attorney general or a solicitor or a law officer will resign when the government changes. But
why
the question was, Mr. Salve was asked, 1 minute, Mr. Salve was asked, Mr. Salve said he's ready to continue.
Yes.
And he's ready to continue at concessional fees.
Yes.
But it was still the prerogative of the government if they felt,
of course.
we want a person
as a prerogative,
Arnab.
you can do anything. May I come in, please? As a prerogative, you can do anything. I'm not on the issue of prerogative at all. I am not arguing on technicality. Chidambaram, anyone can come in and say, you know what, I don't like Mr. Salve. I think that Khawar Qureshi, this unknown Pakistani specimen of a lawyer, whose, by the way, legal abilities and intellectual abilities appear both extremely, very, very well challenged when he appeared. He couldn't even finish his arguments out here. Sonia Gandhi and Manmohan Singh must have seen some peculiar ability in this guy. I don't know. Peculiar ability for what? But consider the order of events, Ms. Luthra.
So,
consider the order of events, Geeta Luthra. Harish Salve and Soli Sorabji, two of India's most preeminent and qualified lawyers, both in India and at global level. You agree with me on that? You agree with me on that so far? Were on the case.
absolutely.
Salve tells a reporter,
Absolutely.
Salve tells Rhythm
Absolutely.
on record that he was in charge. While he was in charge, India was in a pretty decent place in the case. And Salve is not a man who's known for boasting. Now
That's
the question we are asking today is, how exactly do we go from being in a pretty decent place, Sumansi Raman, right, to reaching an out-of-court settlement that drained the Indian exchequer of a lot of money? And I'm saying tomorrow I will reveal how much money we paid. We paid through our damn nose for it. And I'm saying it cannot be a coincidence that the only thing which changed drastically was the fact that a top Indian lawyer was replaced inexplicably with a Pakistan origin lawyer. Sumant, understand, please don't be blind to the facts. I know that you're pro-Congress 99.9% of the time. But be reasonable for once. No, I mean, be reasonable for once. I know you're
Arnab, I think you should be reasonable for once.
No.
I think you should be reasonable.
No, I think
also you should be reasonable for once, Arnab. For me, I only stick with the issue at hand. 1 minute. First of all evidence says that this gentleman, Mr. Qureshi, was chosen to represent or was recommended by this Fox and Mandal, which is a legal firm which was sort of handling this case. So it is quite possible that the removal of Mr. Salve might have been due to the change of political dispensation at the center, but then who was brought in was left to the legal firm of this Fox and Mandal team who were actually handling the case. In fact, if you go and even look at their website, even now they talk about this double case. As for the man having lost the case, there are many cases. For instance, whoever argued at the International Arbitration Court in The Hague recently on the Antariksh Devas deal, which India lost big time, causing a huge loss to the government.
No, there's another angle.
You can then go find out who
argued there's another angle. There's another angle. No, I'll get him on the line. I'll get him on the line. One second. I will take him.
Unless you can prove there is mana fide. Unless you can prove that there
is
some
Why what argument are you presenting? Come on.
Sumant, even if somebody gives an affidavit, they have taken money, you will say, where is the mala fide? Sumant, if somebody gives an affidavit, you will say, where is the mala fide?
I have
come on. No, Mr. Venkatesh. No, 1 minute. Every time a change of dispensation happens, does the legal team not change?
Sir, internal legal team will change, sir, not the external.
Everybody changes, sir.
Sir, then 1 minute.
I will take
Anybody who represents the government changes.
No, 1 minute. If you are saying, no, 1 minute.
Solicitor General comes, a new public prosecutor comes.
Sumant,
everybody is new.
Yes. If they change.
You're more than aware of it.
Yes, if they
just for a scoring political points.
Okay, Sumant, you made your point. Now let us come back. If at all the team has to be changed, why bring in a Pakistani? Why not the Indian Attorney General?
And one more angle.
Why not the Indian Attorney General?
And one more angle.
The government even knew this.
And one more angle I have with me now.
It is a recommendation of the firm. In fact,
I have with me also.
No, then you should record that this Fox and Mandal firm recommended this guy.
Sumant.
If the firm recommends Al Qaeda, will you take it?
Sumant, 1 minute.
If a law firm says Al Qaeda, will you take it?
Then
okay, all right. I will take Shantanu Dixit. 1 second. Can we all calm down?
So what?
Okay.
You may be enamored by any. He is a Pakistani born guy, and he lost the case. Damn it! And you and I paid money for it.
And understand,
in the UK, if you go, there are hundreds of doctors who are Pakistanis who are treating
okay, Emar and Sumant, understand this. Let's go into this in a little bit more detail.
Yes.
Let's argue this case out. It's going to unravel itself, and I'm telling you, it's going to unravel itself beautifully. These things have, the truth comes out. And by the way, I have with me right now Shantanu Dixit, who's founder of Prayas Energy Group. Shantanu, you're there? You're with me, Shantanu? Are you with me, Shantanu Dixit?
Yep.
Right.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. Now, Shantanu Dixit is the founder.
I can hear you.
Is the co-founder of the Prayas Energy Group, which was at the forefront of exposing the Enron scam at that time, and the people's fight against Enron. Shantanu, you can hear me clearly?
Yeah, very well.
Okay, simple one question for you, Shantanu. We were on the verge of winning the case. A, do you agree? B, suddenly the team changes after the Congress came to power. Harish Salve is asked to go and a Pakistani lawyer comes in. And then we lose. Did we give up a winning case? Simple question, Shantanu. Did we give up a winning case?
Yes, of course, we had a very strong case. Enron had made significant lacunas in their plant, and as a result of that, India had a very strong case in terms of being able to demonstrate that Enron is not being able to conclude or to demonstrate the plant's capacity. And that was a very strong case that India had, and it's very unfortunate that India could not make best use of the opportunity that was available at that time.
Right.
And unfortunately, as a result of that, the plant still continues to be a big burden on consumers of Maharashtra and India as a whole.
Okay, Shantanu.
With thousands of crores of Indian public financial institutions' money being stuck in this unviable project even now.
So Shantanu, three things happen. The people, local people suffer, right? The government of India suffers, taxpayers suffer, and look at this in context now. Let's go back to all the panelists, right? The taxpayer suffers. Who gains?
And it becomes
Who
a bad
gains?
advertisement.
I know who gains. Who gains? Enron goes around abusing India even today.
Yes.
Who gains? A Pakistani lawyer gains, and a new legal law firm gains. So there is something suspicious. And by the way, I want to add one more thing in this. Amit Khemka, Sunit Chopra and GVL Narasimha Rao. The personal... Sumant, Shantanu Dikshit, thank you very much. I'm going to come back to you later on the story. Now there is another angle in this, viewers. Another angle. Sumant, let me get some others in. Even if one does come up with a spineless defense, Sunit Chopra and GVL Narasimha Rao, for the absurd angle of a Pakistani replacing an Indian to defend Indian interests, what exactly was Mr. Harish Salve being asked for his personal notes by Qureshi and company? You know what the Pakistani lawyer does? The Pakistani lawyer tells Harish Salve, please give me all your personal notes, so that he can understand all the strong points which the Indians had made. Because you see, GVL, if you want to desperately lose a case, you must first find out how you could have won the case and then work against it. So there was an underlying motive. No, there's it's dangerous. A Pakistani lawyer tells Harish Salve, give me all your points. Was there an underlying motive that first the Congress swoops in to replace the top Indians in a team, get a Pakistani team in, and then that team wants the old team's notes on the case? On what basis? Was there nothing else to do? Absolutely nothing else to do in this case, but this country had a lot of things to do. It seems the Congress party really wanted to lose the case. We must now try and find out whether there was anybody in the Congress who had any old links with General Electric. We must now investigate whether there was any Indian politician who had any direct or indirect links with General Electric or Enron who could have attempted to influence this case. GVL, this is a big scandal, and I don't know why the BJP doesn't understand the full import of what I'm saying here today. GVL, over to you. GVL.
Yeah, Arnab, I think I'll cite two cases. One, both involving large corporations, American corporations. And the modus operandi in these two cases is exactly the opposite. One is the Union Carbide, which ought to have actually paid large amounts of compensation to India for the Bhopal gas disaster. But we let them off. Even Anderson was given a free escape, easy escape by the Congress leadership. He was actually given a clean escape by Arjun Singh at the instance of the then Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi. And you have, on the other hand, Enron, which had we won this arbitration case, we were about to win, there was no outflow that was going to occur, that was going to go out of Indian exchequer. But here you paid them off huge sums of money. So in both these cases, the foreign corporations are involved, and there is certainly a political and a monetary interest.
Yeah.
And corruption is largely
the
involved.
Point is corruption.
Why would they otherwise engage
Amit Khemka, Sunit Chopra.
Why would they engage? No, this clearly smacks of a major scam.
It is a major scam.
I think it's
and
like if you were in a dispute with a Chinese company and if you were to hire a Pakistani lawyer, what would happen?
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
There's no nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Why don't you see the chronology of the facts?
Innuendo. Who is the person who has got stake in, who has got nudge, nudge, wink, wink? It is innuendo, Arnab.
Innuendo, I am asking a question.
He must have lost it deliberately.
I am asking a question.
He must have done it against
I am asking
a question. Somebody must have benefited. Somebody would have made money.
It's not innuendo. It's a direct accusation.
I'm saying, how does it?
So what is the
evidence? I'm making an accusation. I'm not happy.
Sumant, 1 minute.
I'm not giving a subtle hint.
By the way, Sumant, don't get so stressed out today.
Okay.
Because tomorrow I'll come up with part 2 of the expose.
Person X had a share. No, 1 minute. Please, I'll be very happy. I'm willing to change my stance. Today, on the basis of whatever evidence you have presented, there is no case.
What do you mean there is
If
no
you
case?
have
What do
more
you mean?
evidence,
What do you
in
mean?
the
What do you mean? There's no case?
who have
One
not
second. Now
shared
you're really
shareholding
getting nervous.
in
I'll tell you.
Enron
I'll tell you why there is a case. I'll tell you why there is a case. Rhythm will tell you why there is a case. Because the point is, an Indian patriotic lawyer was handling the Dabhol case. You replace him with a Pakistani origin lawyer. How is it not a compromise of both our national security and our interest? The UPA must know we have historically shared strained ties with Pakistan. And yeah,
yes.
Rhythm wants to add more. Rhythm wants to add. Rhythm wants to add more.
In fact, Arnab, we also need to tell them why we had a case. Like you really started off by saying this was one of those, this was India's first foreign direct investment. We had invested a lot in this. When the Maharashtra State Electricity Board got into this, the Indian government also had ensured that all plans were covered. Everything was extremely done up in the right manner. When the Dabhol Power Company came here, and I'm talking about GE, Bechtel and Enron, at that time, it was the biggest thing that could come to India. Enron then went bankrupt. Even at that time, when Enron was going bankrupt, we were the people who went in for a settlement. Can you imagine when the American public itself had lost faith in Enron? Millions of dollars were being paid to it. One of its main directors was in jail. Even then, India was paying its investors in foreign countries, but not the Indian banks. The Indian banks were asking for loans from the provident funds of people, but the foreign banks were being paid by the Indian government. Why was the settlement done in the first place? It is so convoluted the way it actually happened, Arnab. And to say that we have to go in for settlement, I spoke to 3 major senior advocates in the case. All of them said,
Rhythm. You see, many people are very, very uncomfortable today with the fact that Republic TV has picked up the Enron scandal. Because so many skeletons are now going to open up. You see, I have messages from politicians messaging me, why are you calling me at airports, why are reporters accosting me? I have replied back to those politicians saying this is an attempt to get to the truth. We will accost you in airports, we will take our mic and thrust it right into your face. Now the question is, the UPA comes to power in May 2004, right? 4.5 months later, viewers, there is a memorandum which I have with me in my hand which replaces the Indian lawyers with the appointment of a man of Pakistani origin with very little credentials. Mr. Harish Salve says we are in a good place before the case is handed over to the new bunch of lawyers. And then suddenly 8.5 to 9 months later, Amit Khemka, India doesn't win the case. We actually settle. We settle after being in a winning position and we drain the Indian exchequer of pots of money. Pots of money. And let me tell you, viewers, if that money was to be collected in a plane, there wouldn't be enough money, enough place on a full aircraft to carry the money out of this country. That is how much money we paid up. My problem is, Amit Khemka, why was the money paid up? Money doesn't grow on trees. Was there a backroom deal? You first trust a Pakistani over an Indian with Indian national interest. Sunit Chopra, you realize? Then you ask an Indian for his notes. Then your Pakistani lawyer goes and messes up the whole case and stakes India's image before the whole world. Then your government comes out and doles out potloads of money, first to the Pakistani and then to Enron as settlement fees. What exactly was Manmohan Singh thinking? And by the way, please understand, we have to find a link here. Was there a link between the Manmohan Singh government and George W. Bush over the Enron case? Because remember, Manmohan Singh once made a very outrageous comment. He said, George W. Bush, the people of India love you. So beholden and so... Chopra, you realize? Then you ask an Indian for his notes. Then your Pakistani lawyer goes and messes up the whole case and stakes India's image before the whole world. Then your government comes out and doles out potloads of money, first to the Pakistani and then to Enron as settlement fees. What exactly was Manmohan Singh thinking? And by the way, please understand, we have to find a link here. Was there a link between the Manmohan Singh government and George W. Bush over the Enron case? Because remember, Manmohan Singh once made a very outrageous comment. He said, George W. Bush, the people of India love you. So beholden and so obsequious was George W. Bush that he did what is called a shameless diplomatic Ashtanga Pranam before the American president. Even the Americans were shocked at the obsequiousness that Manmohan Singh showed. So you understand where we are coming to, Sunit Chopra, right? This is going to be one big, gigantic scam, scandal.
I want simply to add one thing.
Yes.
No, it's a big scam, there's no doubt. But I want to know what happened to Manmohan Singh, because when Narasimha Rao brought this Enron deal in, Manmohan Singh was against it, and the World Bank also stated that it was something that was not good. I want to know what changed in the meantime.
So if I were to ask you a counter question, very interesting point, Sunit Chopra, understand this, and now understand this. You are saying Manmohan Singh had an anti-Enron position when he was finance minister.
You were supporting the
That's why
UPA
I'm
one
interested.
when this deal happened.
No, which brings me to a more critical point.
Yes.
Listen to me. People change, pressures are put. Now follow the question. Now follow the question.
I'm just putting
now follow the
facts
question.
before
Sunit Chopra, today let's be reasonable on this. Why did Manmohan Singh as finance minister have one position?
Sure.
And Manmohan Singh as prime minister have another position? In the same case. Is that not worth questioning? What was Sharad Pawar's position in this whole matter?
I mean, I looked for the facts this evening.
No, I looked for the facts as well. I looked for the facts as well. Of all the lawyers in the world, we were footing bills for this Pakistani clown. And to think we actually replaced Harish Salve with him. Harish Salve is an accomplished lawyer, is the former Solicitor General. As Geeta Luthra rightly says, he tells the government of India, I will take reduced fees. I want India to win the case. I have a pretty good case. Suddenly the Congress government comes in and replaces the whole damn group. And then suddenly we lose the case. And then tomorrow I'm going to reveal how much money we paid. Now come on, Sunit Chopra. That money comes from you and me. That is not the Congress party's personal wealth.
You might have had to pay less.
That is not
if Pawan Thackeray had not agreed, and if Suresh Prabhu had not reopened.
No, this is going to open up. Amit Khemka, yes, who's coming in? Sumant
That's the government that you supported,
No, you
Mr.
study
Chopra.
all this. I don't
That
know.
MR, it's more than this. MR, it's more.
sorry.
Let's
May
go.
I-
MR is more than this.
Mr. Venkatesh, on what evidence are you saying he
Because
was
UPA government was
No,
full
what
of
is the
louts and
evidence for
touts.
you to say he
Please
got a
understand
kickback?
this. Sumant, get it right. That the UPA government was full of touts and
You
louts.
can't just argue. You can't argue this. Yeah,
This,
come on.
Arey, you
When
are a
want to talk
government
like this,
where the
what
Prime
is
Minister
the
of this
evidence?
country is
First of
being
all,
charged of a
if you're
criminal
going to say
act.
that a
Please
lawyer
understand
who
that.
lost the case
Don't
because he
ever
got
say
a
this.
kickback,
Don't
will you
ever say this.
investigate-
The
will you
UPA
investigate
government
all
was
the
full
lawyers
of louts
who
and
lost
touts.
cases for the Indian government.
Arey Baba,
What
please
about
understand
Antariksh
your track
Devas?
record proves this.
There is a big
Track
write-up
record
of the
proves
number
this,
of
Sumant,
blunders
that the
was
government,
made in losing
UPA
Antariksh
government was
Devas case.
Arey,
$670 million.
Okay, I
Arey,
want
one
to
minute,
make an
Arnab.
announcement.
One
I
minute.
want to make an announcement.
One
Go
minute.
and see, you want
One
the
minute.
lawyers to be investigated. You want to
Sumant,
investigate all the lawyers who lose cases.
No, Sumant.
logic
You
is
don't,
this?
Sumant, don't be unreasonable. Again, you have gone unreasonable. After 10 p.m.,
You
you
have to
become very
investigate. No,
unreasonable.
Antariksh Devas,
The problem is you become very
$670
unreasonable.
million Indian government has to pay.
Arey Baba, we say
lost that case?
if Soli Sorabji had replaced
You have
Harish
become
Salve and we have lost the case, no
presenting
problem.
a shred of evidence.
No,
So all
if-
you're going on saying is
This
Pakistani
is the
lawyer
problem
was
with
put,
you.
he would have deliberately lost the case.
Yes, it has been
And they
done.
would have
It has
taken
been.
feedbacks. What kind
It
of
is not a
argument is
deliberate
this?
lose.
You
It
need
has
to
been
produce
deliberate
evidence,
fixed.
sir.
It has been a match fixed. It is rigged right from day
Where is
one.
the evidence?
Arey Baba, where is the
Because
evidence? I'll tell you.
MR Venkatesh and Arnab Goswami
No.
are saying so.
UPA government was Alibaba and 40 thieves. Please note that. It was
Yeah,
the government
yeah.
of Alibaba
Whereas
and
you
40
have not
thieves.
produced
And that
anything.
is the evidence. That is the evidence that they won't take any serious decision.
Okay, one
Please understand
Exactly.
that.
This is
One
just,
point.
this is again
It has been
innuendo.
requested.
Arey
There were so
Baba,
many other scams.
It has
so
been
this is one
requested.
more scam.
Arey, it has been requested
so
that
many
we
other
should put
scams,
out
so
the
this must be
documents
one more
tomorrow.
scam.
Okay.
So I want to make an
Innuendo.
announcement.
Innuendo.
So I want to make an announcement. I will.
Please.
I think Rhythm, you may want to make the announcement about what we are going to put out tomorrow. We'll put it all out because we will put it all out, and you can briefly talk about what we are going to put out tomorrow.
Yes.
Rhythm, yeah.
All right, tomorrow in part 2 of the series, Arnab, we are going to reveal to the public what Mr. Khemka is asking the government to do. Law Ministry notings, documents that reveal what really happened in the Enron saga, what went wrong, what were the settlement figures, with whom did India settle, where was the settlement done, and who really is the missing link in the Manmohan Singh government and these settlement papers. Without revealing anything, we are going to unravel the truth. And like Mr. Khemka said, it's the government that should be actually doing it. Republic is going to put it out for the viewers to really see what happened 13 years ago.
I now want to make one point here. You see, Mr. Khemka and Sumansi Raman, you missed a very critical point. Harish Salve is a lawyer whose expertise spans from constitutional law, commercial law, and taxation law. You replace
Nobody
him.
is questioning that.
No, my God.
Nobody questioned that.
Oh God, for God's sake, I mean, Sumant, understand what are you talking about?
Nobody questioned that.
It's like
Arnab,
saying,
where is the criminality is what I'm asking.
well, I mean, there's no criminality. You send a kabaddi player to
Harish
open.
Salve is
You send a
competent. Nobody
kabaddi
did.
player to be the opening batsman of India's cricket team. That's the criminality. Damn it! Don't you understand that?
Professionals' integrity.
You please ask that company, call that Fox and Mandal company and ask them why they recommended this guy.
Well, I'm giving you a
But
case out here.
in any case, what is the evidence to say he lost it deliberately?
Oh, there's absolutely nothing. Why would
So
they?
every lawyer,
No,
and you also,
absolutely.
M.R. Venkatesh for good measure said he must have got kickbacks. There has to be some evidence here, come on.
Arey Baba, evidence
there
is
will
the
be
track
evidence
record.
put out.
No.
You do not know how much they looted this country, Sumant. Do you know that the Prime
Please
Minister
put it
himself
out.
is
I'll be
indicted
happy.
for a cold
I am
scam of
more
that
than
era?
happy to change my mind.
No,
Change my
you
point of
better,
view.
whether you have a mind is the question now, Sumant, because you must know 2004 to
Sir,
2014,
nobody
the
is
darkest
disputing.
history
Nobody
in the
is
history of
disputing
India.
that the
That's
UPA
the darkest
government
period
was
in the
full
history
of
of India.
scams, was mired in scams. Nobody is disputing
No,
that.
Then that is
But
the
in
track
this
record. That is
particular
why the
case, you have
suspicion.
not
That
established
is why
what
the
the criminal
suspicion.
Okay, here's
element
the
was.
question.
If this were a normal government, we would not have suspected.
Then you say it's a suspicion. You
Arey
don't
Baba,
say he took kickbacks.
Arey Baba, it is, I'm not saying I don't have an evidence.
Okay,
I never said I have an
tomorrow,
affidavit.
tomorrow if it is proven, Geeta Luthra.
So you don't have any evidence. That's
Arey
the point.
Baba,
That's all I'm
tomorrow,
making.
The conduct of this UPA government itself is
Tomorrow
evidence.
if it is proven with papers, Amit Khemka, that we pay thousands of crores to Enron. After having removed Harish Salve, therefore knowingly and deliberately having lost the case. If it is proven that we lost and paid Enron or Bechtel or any other companies thousands of crores of rupees, would that warrant a CBI inquiry or not? Amit Khemka, Geeta Luthra and GVL Narasimha Rao, would that merit a CBI inquiry or not? Because you can otherwise say that, we can go ahead and lose anything,
May I
pay
say
any amount of
something?
money, nobody is answerable. These are backroom deals which will be done,
so-
on which fingerprints will never be found. Fingerprints will eventually be found. And even today, Geeta Luthra, I want to tell you, those same American lawyers who got an easy victory over us, go back and look at the websites and look at their CVs. The first thing they write about is how they gave India a bloody nose in this case. The fact is we conspired against ourselves to lose the case and give ourselves a bloody nose. Now therefore that has to be a matter of inquiry. Geeta Luthra.
So the first thing is, and that's my first objection, we can't question the integrity of a professional, and it's
Ability?
trans-religion, trans-community,
There's no religious angle here.
trans-nation.
No, there's no religious
So,
angle here.
trans-nation.
Don't bring,
I mean,
don't bring a
you
religious
will-
angle here.
you-
There's no religious angle
No,
here. That's what the
no,
Congress party
there
tried to
is-
do. I'm sorry.
It should not
There's
be
no
a
religious angle
nationality
here.
angle also.
Well, nationality.
No, it's
nationality
all
angle
right.
is there.
Apologize,
No.
but it should not even be a nationality
No, I'm
angle.
asking
See,
you,
the
sir.
man belongs to the UK. He is practicing in the UK.
Well,
I think we
I
can't
think the
question his
nationality angle is relevant.
professionalism.
Nationality, national origin of the nation, origin is important
No,
also because
no,
why
no.
would the Congress
No,
party?
it's not.
It is
because if I go to Houston for an operation, I'm not going to be concerned who's operating on me.
This is
that is
If
a
I
private
go
affair.
to a
That's a
top-notch
private
place
affair.
like
That's a
Mayo
private affair,
Clinic,
ma'am.
I
That's-
won't
that's a
care
private
of
affair.
what is
First-
the origin of the
no,
person.
No. First understand.
No, it's a top-notch
No.
professional.
First,
If it's a
private
professional,
affair.
no,
Private
just
affair and
li-
national
listen
affairs
to
have
me.
different
Listen,
yardsticks.
just hear me out.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
Give me a second to answer. I'm not interrupting. Let me just answer, and then of course you can disagree with me. All I'm saying is, once there is a top-notch professional, you trust the professionalism of the person.
not the point.
They may have made a wrong choice.
No,
there may be other aspects of malafide. I'm not saying that.
Max of
but
malafide.
Okay, on that,
the choice is malafide.
Miss Luthra, may I please, Miss Luthra.
Maybe a superior counsel.
No, Miss Luthra. Once. Can I counter this, please? Can I counter this? Miss Luthra, again with the greatest of respect to you.
Of course.
Please understand, I completely disagree with you. Nationality matters. If nationality does not matter, then Pakistan would hire Harish Salve to represent them at the ICJ and India would hire Kawar Qureshi. Point one. Secondly, perhaps...
But that's a dispute between India and Pakistan.
No. Sorry. Sunil Chopra, don't shake your head. You know what the point I'm making out there.
In ICJ,
Sunil Chopra is very liberal, but I'm not liberal enough to trust Pakistan.
No.
Second point.
When I go to a top-notch professional, I think he will not think of religion, he will not think of nationality,
why are you bringing up
he will not think of culture, country or anything.
Ma'am,
what I'm saying is, you don't think of these things.
Can I?
A professional is above all this.
Okay, now...
Absolutely.
No, 1 minute. 2004.
Absolutely.
Okay, Sumant, I agree. 2004, this gentleman had much less experience than in 2017.
Of course.
And 2017, Harish Salve ate him alive for breakfast. We saw it live on TV.
Yeah.
And now in 2004, obviously he had much less experience, much less competence. And you replace this gentleman, you replace Harish Salve with this gentleman, and you say that this was a top-notch lawyer. You expect us to believe this argument? That this man was something stupendous. Had this, if we had not seen him performing at The Hague, probably we would have taken your argument. But we have all seen him live. We have all seen him performing. And we contrasted in the morning with Harish Salve's performance, in the afternoon with this gentleman's performance.
I think the person who should answer questions here is Manmohan Singh. Again.
If one lawyer wins a case over another lawyer, he's automatically better than that lawyer.
No.
Suman,
how ridiculous is that? It depends on the merits of the case.
Remember. Sumant, remember here. Perhaps if a Swiss was hired, nationality would not matter, but it matters when a decision is taken to employ a man who has ties with a country that kills our soldiers since 1947. Perhaps if a Swedish was hired, perhaps if a Norwegian was hired, it would not matter.
There are Indians who are going and getting operated
now
Sumant,
understand what I'm saying to you here. I'm saying to you, tomorrow will you be okay with doling out 200 pounds an hour to get Kawar Qureshi on board to fight for Kulbhushan Jadhav's freedom? You would not be. Will you be okay to get Kawar Qureshi if he represents India and is paid 300 pounds an hour? 300 pounds an hour in the Pakistani court. Will you employ him in the 2611 case? No. Will you employ him in the 2611 case? No. Will you employ him in the 2611 case? No.
That was the matter between the two countries.
You won't. Will you employ Kawar Qureshi? Will you employ Kawar Qureshi? GVL can come into the debate. Will you employ Kawar Qureshi if there is a dispute on the Indus Waters agreement with
Pakistan? Nothing.
No.
Absolutely no.
You're talking about
absolutely a company. You're talking through your hat here. You're talking through your hat. What are you talking about?
This is a company on the other side. You're talking absolute nonsense, if I may say so. There is no logic in what is being spoken at all.
Yeah, you know what the Pakistani lawyer, let me throw a bit of logic in it.
You're comparing a matter between two countries and a matter between a country and a company.
Sumant, you know this. Sumant, 1 minute. Sumant, listen. Sumant, understand this. This Pakistani lawyer that the UPA, for some godforsaken reason, thought was the most appropriate choice to represent India in the Dabhol case, cost the Indian exchequer, even if we did hire him for an hour a day, at the very least, ₹500 crore. Why are we paying ₹500 crore to a man to lose a case? Come on, GVL. What's the BJP doing? Why don't you take this to the CBI? Take it to the CBI. Question Manmohan Singh.
You said he deliberately lost it. So you have to establish he deliberately lost it.
Fall flat. You see, although the arbitration is with a private corporation, I think you must be innocent to believe that countries do not lobby on behalf of their governments. I think the governments lobby on behalf of their corporates.
He deliberately lost
I think
the case.
in every country does that, and particularly that.
When you send a comedy player as an opener, you are contriving to lose. And it's a rigged
No,
match.
you need to be
Sir,
you need
you
to
are
be
saying-
idiotic not to
match.
understand
No, no.
this. It doesn't require any
Please.
proof.
Please,
Suman,
put out
It
you
doesn't
don't-
require any
tomorrow
proof. It's
Suman,
show
don't
that
defend
independently
indefensible.
every country
Suman, don't
gets
defend
involved in
indefensible.
economic commerce,
I will
economic
take this.
diplomacy.
I will take this further tomorrow. And tomorrow I want to promise viewers. I promise you tomorrow. We will be back and tell you how much money we paid. That will shock you. Even after that, if the BJP doesn't take it to the CBI, you can ask the BJP why they don't do that. Our job is to put the facts in the public domain for tonight and only for tonight. Thank you for watching. Good night and goodbye.